No pressure, Justin.
Jen, can you try and get those out? Done on the hot tap. You can find the hot tap.
No pressure, Justin.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is so nice to have you all here. I have one question. Do we like cocktails? Yay! Yeehaw! Justin, that's music to our ears. The fabulous Justin is here from Ballyvolane House and Bertha Revenge Gin. Have you all heard of him? That's why they're here, because they love you.
For all the right reasons, I hope.
Justin, what are we making today?
Well, first of all, you're all very welcome to my little demo. I'm going to mix 3 different cocktails for you, and one I'm going to share with you while I'm mixing the other 2. And but before I do that, I'll just give you a little bit of background of who I am, and I'll introduce you to Bertha's Revenge Gin. And you all have a brochure on the seat as well. So Bertha's Revenge Gin is quite unusual in that we use a base spirit which is derived from milk. We use whey alcohol as opposed to wheat or barley spirit, which is what most gins you'd be drinking are made from. And we've also named it after Big Bertha, who's the world's oldest cow. So we're defined by the Milk Association. And Bertha entered the Guinness Book of World Records for being the oldest cow in the world. And she lived in County Kerry and died in 1993 at the remarkable age of 48. So Anthony is the other ginsmith. He's my business partner, myself, and then Big Bertha is the third ginsmith and very important part of our story. So we're bringing her back in spirit, literally. And she was quite a celebrity when she was alive. She made 2 appearances on the Late Late Show in the 1980s. She used to lead the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Sneem, where she was from, in County Kerry, and she raised approximately 70,000 punts for charity during her lifetime. So she's quite a legend. And she's basically the Irish equivalent of Princess Diana, but without the emotional issues. And so we're very proud to immortalise her good name. Anyway, one of the interesting things about the whey alcohol, it's got quite a rich, luscious texture, and which we love, and it coats the inside cheeks very well, and it's incredibly smooth, and it carries a lot of the sort of heady spices that we use as our botanicals. Like for gin to be defined as gin, there has to be a predominance of juniper, and then coriander seed is another second most important gin ingredient. And whilst the juniper brings resin and sort of piney notes, the coriander brings freshness. We discovered quite quickly when we were experimenting with our recipe that the whey alcohol is quite rich and it carries spice very well, like cardamom, cumin, and cardamom is probably the 3rd largest component after juniper and coriander. So it's a spice-forward gin, and it has lots of sweet citrus coming through on the finish. And we drink it with a good tonic every evening, garnish it with a simple orange peel, and that's your sort of summer B&T. But first cocktail I'm going to mix for you is a rhubarb martini. So we do 2 shots of Bertha's Revenge Gin. And basically the recipe is very simple. It's a 3-2-1 mix, so 3 parts Bertha's Revenge Gin, 2 parts rhubarb syrup. And actually we grow rhubarb in our garden, and some of it was left over from Dorina just earlier, and Rachel, so we're using a little bit of hers as well. And you just poach rhubarb. This is what I picked from my garden this morning, and you can chop it up into little 2-inch length pieces, poach it with a bit of sugar and water and in the saucepan, and then the rhubarb you can eat with breakfast with granola and yogurt, or use it for puddings. And then what's left is this delicious syrup in the saucepan, and just put it in a bottle and it'll keep in the fridge for weeks. And then it makes a fantastic cocktail ingredient. So we do 1 shot of that. And then we do 1 shot of fresh lime juice or lemon juice. This is fresh lime juice, just to balance the sweetness of the rhubarb syrup. Then you put the ice in there, not too much, because you want a bit of space in the glass to air the cocktail. And then it's always nice to chill your martini glass before you drink it, so that's a good way of doing it. Just put a bit of ice in there, and then you shake the bejesus out of it for about 30 seconds. And somebody told me when you shake a cocktail, the face you put on is very similar to your orgasm face, but I don't know if that... Say that. You can practice at home and let me know. So that's it, and you chuck the ice. You've got a lovely cold martini glass. And you top it up. got beautiful pink colour, nice sort of texture, and that comes from shaking the cocktail, and the ice also helps dilute it a little more, and that is a lovely taste of spring and summer. And that's perfect, and you should always taste it, because sometimes the rhubarb syrup can be sweeter than you planned, and you just add a little bit more citrus to balance the sweetness. And in my other hat, I also own Ballyvolane House, which is about 35 minutes away, and we operate a historic house B&B, and we host weddings and events. And every night before dinner, our guests would be treated to a couple of these, and it's more house party than hotel, the whole vibe there. And all the guests sit around a big table together for dinner, and this kind of loosens up the conversation, and it's just a great way to start the evening.
Sounds like a perfect weekend away.
Now, the guys around the back are busy pouring them out into little shot glasses, so you can have a little sip of this in a minute.
Love it.
So that's that one. Second cocktail, and probably my favourite of all, is the Negroni. And the main ingredients are gin, Campari, and vermouth. And we are blessed in this country to have one of the nicest vermouths I've ever had from Valencia Island. Two ladies have a stand in the woodshed, so go and say hello to them, and they produce the most delicious Valencia Island vermouth. It's slightly sweeter than some of the Italian vermouths, and that kind of, in my view, suits the Irish palate a bit more. I think the Italians like really bitter, radicchio, salad leaves, and really bitter, Camparis and vermouths. Really, it's to counteract the intense heat in the Italian summers. So I think, the Irish like things slightly sweeter, so this goes really, really well. And the traditional mix for a Negroni is a third, a third, a third. So you basically do 1 part gin, 1 part Campari, and 1 part vermouth. You put lots of ice in a mixing glass, and it's not a shaken cocktail, it's a stirred cocktail. So plenty of ice. And you do, I'm just going to make 2 shots of everything. Campari. This is a strong cocktail, so you need to go easy. If you're going to have 2 or 3 of these before dinner, it's going to be a busy night. Whoops. And the third one was the vermouth, which I put here. And then you stir it at 30 seconds, and this just dilutes it, mixes it, and softens it. And we've got these gorgeous gadgets to get in any good sort of cocktail shop. And what I have here is a sphere of ice. And you can buy the molds in, I got these in Hickey's in Cork, which has everything and anything. And it just means that the drink will remain colder for longer, and the ice melts very, very slowly. And then pour the Negroni into the glass. Look at that lovely colour. And then we garnish it with a nice big orange peel. And try and chop out the pith, because the pith is quite bitter, and what you're getting is just the skin, and that has all the lovely oils which give it delicious sort of flavour. Just give it a little squirt, drop that in, and that is the Bertha Negroni with Valencia Island vermouth and Campari. Everyone got a rhubarb martini yet? Good? Yeah. It's just so refreshing. And we'll be giving them out if you're flagging when you do a few circuits if you're later. Come and visit our stand, and we'll give you another one just to boost the energy. And I've had a lot of fun actually over the last few days just visiting other stands, and there's been incredible stuff going on. Vera Bitters is another Irish company that produce bitters, and we've sometimes put that in a Negroni if it's a very dry Negroni, and it works very well. I'm going to mix for you another. Could you just empty that out for me? Thank you. I'm going to mix another cocktail. We have a rhubarb mule, so bringing rhubarb back again into the mix. I'm going to mix Bertha's Revenge Gin with the ingredients, and rhubarb syrup, fresh lime juice, and then we do a mixture of ginger ale, ginger beer, and then I've also discovered yesterday, Moss Boss Tonic, and it's an Irish company based in County Clare, and they make this incredible sort of health invigorating drinks, and this has got wild Irish sea moss, apple cider vinegar, and turmeric root, so it's a bright yellow in colour, and I'm going to put a shot of that into the cocktail as well, because I think it'll just really go well with the rhubarb, and also Bertha's Revenge Gin has all these sort of Indian curry spices, and I think it should be marriage made in heaven. It has root ginger in it, which is also, it goes so well with rhubarb, cloudy apple, and fennel. So there we go. Like, I haven't actually tried it. It could be disgusting. But we'll give it a go.
It's really, really lovely. And it's one shot every morning to keep the doctor away.
No, this is delicious, but I mean the cocktail could be disgusting. But this is heaven. I had 2 of these this morning. It's not disgusting at all. It's really good. Just want to, for the record, I don't want to get in trouble here. So what else? Yeah, rhubarb.
We trust you though, Justin.
And this is a nice kind of long drink for, summer afternoon. Yeah, we host a lot of weddings at Ballyvolane House, and we would serve up, rhubarb mule on a regular basis. Very popular. And then the ginger ale. Just do half. And this is another Irish company called Poachers. They produce a lovely range of mixers. And then we put a little dash of Moss Boss Tonic. Good.
Wicked.
And some ice. And then a little squeeze of lime. A little bit of a stir.
Yeah, I have one of these cocktails every single morning.
Oh, that's really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
Adele will
and you
love
can
this.
you can get the turmeric in that.
Yeah,
It just
wicked.
goes really well with the rhubarb and the ginger.
It's a great addition.
Actually, we might even put this in the bedrooms for the guests, in the morning to have a nice health shot. It would be great
Very clever.
on the breakfast table.
Any questions for Justin? Are you going to try all 3 cocktails at home? Love this crowd. So where will they get the Bertha's Revenge? Where are you, Justin? Just next door?
Yep, it's online. So if you want to just shop at home, we're very happy to send it out. Only in Ireland due to we can't ship alcohol overseas. It's in Cork City. It's in Bradley's off license, and it's in O'Brien's nationwide. It's in some of the Dunn stores, and it's lots of independent off licenses dotted around the country in bars and restaurants. And if you want to drink Bertha in its home, come and stay with us at Ballyvolane House, and you can have almost a spiritual experience. And we'd love to have you to stay, and we're open all year round, and we're only down the road. And,
Very special.
And I'd like to thank you, Tracy, for having me here today,
Thank you,
and thank Ballyvolane for putting on this amazing event.
Yeah.
It's thanks to you all for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys.